Now, the album itself has got some very fascinating imagery on it, all from the sort of turn of the century type circus thing. Is that your cartoon work again, or your drawing?
That's not. No, no, no. When I was because I do cartoons and animation, I worked for Universal Records for a while, doing sort of designing computer games for these viral marketing campaigns where they promote a record. And I think I did one of the Bloodhound Gang, and that involved them playing Russian roulette against their fans with a banana. It wasn't a gun; it was a banana. So you get covered in custard if you lost in this game. So
brilliant.
And they'd give prizes away. Then they give like tickets to concert and stuff like that if you won the prize. But I met this guy called Luke there, and what his job was to repackage international artists as they were coming through Universal Records. Say if you had, I don't know, like an international artist like Mariah Carey or whatever, he'd repackage that artwork so it fits into more of a British kind of design thing. And I was quite impressed with his design work, so I thought, I don't really know how to design album covers, and my stuff's quite cartoony, so maybe I'll get his take on my music and see what he thinks. So he came up with his designs, and he's done a brilliant job. Luke Watson, very, very good designer.
It's superb, isn't it? I love the sort of concept, the whole thing about it. But there's the artistic side of your character, to put it that way. You've come up with some fairly well-known characters, haven't you? Dennis the Menace for the BBC, the Ribena Berries, Billy No Mates, and Postman Pratt.
Yes, I've worked for comics. I used to work for comics for years, but I didn't conceive these characters. I'm going to say I didn't invent Dennis the Menace, sadly. Otherwise, it'd be very, very rich indeed.
Yes.
But drawing these characters, I worked on the Dennis the Menace series for the BBC, and I was employed as a props designer. What a props designer does, it's like a pre-production for animation. So you have to use your imagination to come up with things that relate to the script. Say if like Dennis has got a custard pie launching machine that pops out of a submarine. So I'd have to think what this thing would look like and how it would work mechanically so that it would then be given to a storyboard artist to draw as a storyboard. So then ultimately what happens is that all of that storyboard and the script all goes over to China, where it's animated. So it's a fairly sort of basic level sort of position in an animation company, but it's pre-production. But the cartooning stuff, the strip cartooning stuff, the money in it now is really pretty bad for comic work, and I tend to do a lot more stuff on computer and more of that sort of advertising agency stuff at the moment, because it's not that lucrative, unfortunately. Much as I enjoy it.
What was it like being the Labour Party's caricaturist?
That was fun at the time, because I think when they got into power, they were sort of riding on a wave of popularity, but unfortunately they're not as popular now, are they?
No.
So I just managed to get to draw Mo Molam and Cherry Blair and who else did I draw? A host of people, a host of Labour Party aficionados. But I am a caricaturist, and I do these parties where I'm asked to sort of turn up at posh parties and draw pictures of people.
Now, the label that you're now signed to in America, Wildflower,
yeah.
That's owned by Judy Collins, is that right?
Yes, that's right. So I did a gig with Judy, actually, funnily enough, around, I think it was about Christmas time. Just before Christmas time. I went to this place called The Bitter End, which is a really famous club in New York, where Bob Dylan and Stevie Wonder, Neil Diamond, they all cut their teeth at this club. This was where they made their name, a small sort of intimate venue in the East Village. And it was great. I mean, the label asked me to do this gig with Judy, and I was really honoured to do the gig. There were other people from the label there. Amy Speace and Ralston Bowles played there, and obviously Judy played on the stage all together, playing in front of all the New York socialites. It was quite a nerve-wracking experience, I have to say, to be on the stage with these people. It was.
I bet it was. What an experience!
It was amazing. Yeah, I was really a little bit nervous, I have to say, because you're playing in front of all these, amazing people, and they put you in their ranks. I think it was quite an honour, because some of the other label people were there as well. Some of the other label artists were there on stage with me, and what we had to do is play 4 songs each. So you do get one person starting and say, oh, this is my song about blah blah blah, and whatever, a little story behind it and stuff. So you have to do this kind of preamble before you played your stuff, and you've got all these socialites from the New York music scene, and obviously people that Judy's known for years there. So it's quite a distinguished event, and rammed out in the venue. But it was great. No, I really enjoyed it. It was a real kind of real experience for me.
Now I guess you're actually on tour, aren't you, at the moment with the album?
I did a tour surrounding the last release, which was Sound Makes a Pearl, and we got a lot of radio play, a lot of regional radio play over in the UK. We got playlisted on Radio 2, which was really good. But now I'm gearing up for my second tour, actually the third tour, because we had one before that in October. But at the moment I'm talking to booking agents about festivals and sort of other gigs coming up. I've got a gig on April the 7th in Hoxton, at the Hoxton Underbelly, if anybody's in London. So yeah, there's going to be quite a few things coming up this year, especially on the festival footing. And then I'm going to Canada in June, and there's talk of me going out to Nashville and doing some gigs over there with the label. So there's a lot on for this year, and I've got big hopes for the second single, which is Dialing Tone.
Yes.
We're doing a video. We're shooting a video on the 10th of April, and with a fairly famous up-and-coming actor called Russell Tovey.
Yeah, he's in...
Being Human is the thing he's in. He plays the part of a werewolf.
That's it. Now that single's actually, or the track Dialing Tone's actually won an international songwriting competition.
It did, yeah. I entered this thing, I've done fairly well with the international songwriting competition. I've got this thing called Sonic Bids, which they're a subscription-based music opportunities kind of website where you get offered gigs and you get offered opportunities to do with the music industry. And I applied for this international songwriting competition a few times, and I've come as runner-up in a few for a few of the competitions before, but I actually won one year, which was cool. Won a load of prizes and some sort of publishing stuff, and it was good. I mean, it's good to have the kudos of winning these competitions, but it sort of translates into a record deal or a publishing deal. It's all good stuff,
Yeah.
And you get to meet other people and you get to meet other writers, and that's all very useful.
So the future then, you've got quite a busy future on at the moment, certainly in the music business. If it ever came to a choice and you had to choose between the artistic work, the music side, where do you think your choice would go at the moment?
Definitely in the direction of music. I mean, I've been a successful artist, commercially for many years. So it'd be difficult to sort of give up that on the finance side. But I think now I'm starting to see a great success where I'm actually starting to earn money out of what I feel really passionately about, which is my music. And it's really taking a lot more of my time. So it's sort of, the one is sort of cancelling out the other at the moment. So once I get to a point where my music is paying me the same sort of money that I get from my art, then I'll definitely make the choice and jump ship to the music without a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, well look, Will, thank you so much for your time. It's been great chatting.
Well, it's brilliant to speak to you, Lee. Really, really cool.
And I hope this car works out better than the last one.
No, it was a real dud. It's gone to the great scrap heap in the sky now, I'm afraid. So, are you guys, do you ever come over to London at all?
Occasionally. We sort of get out of the country if we're allowed out. But yes.
Well, if I'm in Spain, I'll have to come and pay you a visit.
Definitely. Come into the studio and bring the guitar, and it would be lovely to have you play live in the studio.
It's entirely a possibility. I know that one of my objectives this year is to plan some European touring, certainly in Germany and France. So I see no reason why we shouldn't include Spain on the trip round.
Brilliant. Well, that'd be lovely. That really would.
Oh, thanks, Lee.
Okay, mate. Now, take care, and hopefully we'll see you later this year.
Brilliant. Thanks a lot, Lee. Okay. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.